What's good, family? This is Queen Common Sense coming back to you from the Chi-Town, holding it down. And I'm coming back to you because I've been watching for a while now, pretty much since Facebook was invented and brought to the wonderful World Wide Web, of a growing trend and growing epidemic, morbid epidemic of more and more children being destroyed over bullying and nonsense, incessant mental, emotional, and physical torture by their peers via Facebook, MySpace, and several other social networks, including YouTube. And these children are becoming younger and younger, and they're becoming more and more enraged with one another, and more lives are being destroyed. Families and hearts are being broken excuse me, over this bullshit bullying on MySpace and Facebook and so forth. And I know I'm not the only one to address this. Like I said, I won't be the first, and I definitely won't be the last. But being a mother alone has driven me to really say something and do something about this bullshit going on here that's been going on for a long time. Now, we all, ain't nobody new to bullying. We all understand that there will be bullies as long as the earth has people on it. However, we as parents, especially I'm talking to the parents with children as young as 8, 9, and 10, on up through 13 and 14, allowing these children to have access to Facebook, MySpace, and just the internet, period, without close monitoring of that time frame that they're on this, and having access to their passwords, or either locking them out of this particular arena of the internet. Now, we can't monitor our children 24/7. No, we cannot. But we can teach them the dangers, the pros, and the cons of these certain venues that they're using. And I'm going to start off like this, at 10, 9, me personally, having boys and a girl, no child at 10 should have a goddamn MySpace or Facebook page, period. I don't believe any child should utilize the internet but for own educational purposes, with strict adult or parental or guardian supervision at 10 years old. On up to 13, 14, 15, some 16-year-olds do not have the mental capacity to understand what the ramifications of this internet shit is all about when used inappropriately. And I'm not going to blame anybody or try to pass judgment or whatever, but I'm just going to say it is what the fuck it is. Now, I can't say that it's all the parents' responsibility, but 99.9% of it lies in their hands, because they know their child, they live with their child, majority of them, and if they don't, then they should have frequent checks on what their child is up to, what they're into, what their hobbies, interests, and troubles are at school as well as at home with their peers. I just do not believe it is age appropriate at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to have a fucking Facebook page and none of your parents have access to it. None of your parents, the parents don't know what the fuck is going on at school, that this child is being bullied. And these children are afraid to report being bullied because they're just shocked and frozen with fear from peer pressure, bullying, and just utter cruelty and sadistic treatment. I don't understand what a 10-year-old could possibly need to talk about on fucking Facebook or a cell phone when they see the very same motherfuckers at school every day, 6-7 hours a day. Then they come home and jump right on Facebook and start talking to the same motherfuckers that's torturing them every goddamn day. And a parent not have a clue what's going on. Not have a fucking clue. That to me is inexcusable. It's reprehensible on the parents' behalf. That's the way it is. It's as simple as that. How do you not know that your child is being bullied and not monitor their behavior, their mannerisms, their emotions up and down, their actions and attitude changes, the frequency of how they deal with you at home, their lack of interest and their lack of motivation to get up and go to school every day? You just pass it off as being lazy, a typical kid? How do you not see your child as depressed or troubled? How do you not ask? This is my thing with the parents. The children, they hold some responsibility, yes, because clearly they're not being taught at home how to act like a civilized human being versus teasing, bullying, threatening, and tormenting someone all for pleasure, for entertainment purposes. We know that. But I want to know what the fuck is on these parents' mind who allow their children on the internet, free reign on the internet, to go on Facebook, MySpace, and all these social networks and not have a fucking clue why their child has ended up dead, hanged themselves, blow their brains out, swallowed some household chemicals, had had their bullies jump them and beat them and kick them to death and shit like that. I don't understand it. Now I repeat, for those of you that's not gonna keep up and you want to repeat in the comment section the same shit that I say in the video, which tells me that you don't listen. I repeat, for those of us that are not listening and paying attention, you can't watch your children 24 hours a day. But goddamn it, a 10-year-old can get out from under your thumb that much and have that much freedom to have access to MySpace or Facebook to the point where they're being bullied, where the only way escape they feel is to kill themselves. 10 years old, 11, and these young girls running off into the sunset with these perverted, sadistic, old, dirty-ass men. I put a couple of links in the description box of a few more stories that I ran across this afternoon while I was perusing the internet, checking out the news, mainstream and underground news as I do. And it's really starting to get utterly ridiculous at the sadistic shit that's going on with our babies. And it's all surrounding the venue of social networks. I'm just not understanding why so many of these children are slipping through the cracks and getting so far out of control that they can mentally and emotionally influence a person, so much so that this little child, 10 years old, killed himself. And have so much access and freedom to communicate with total fucking strangers, where the little girl get up out of the house and run away with a 42, 50-year-old man and be missing for 2 fucking weeks. And their parents not have a fucking clue where she is. It's really, really irritating the shit out of me seeing this shit happen time and time again. Every other week, sometimes every other day, I see this shit. And we need to start speaking out about this shit and calling attention to it as parents, as the elders, as the wisdom of the village. Now, I haven't run across any videos regarding these things personally. I'm sure they're out there on YouTube. Y'all feel free to send me some of them, recent ones, this year, this month, last month. If anybody is speaking out on this shit, and is anybody really looking deeply into what the fuck is going on with these motherfucking parents that's allowing these 10-year-olds to have a goddamn freak book page? It's not even Facebook no more. There's so many fucking viruses and perverts and groups that's preying on children, boys and girls, young women, young men. How do you allow your child to take their own life at 10 years old and not have a fucking clue they're being bullied? How do you not go up to the school and observe and see what the fuck is really going on? And take off the rose-colored glasses and stop being a fucking sheep and stop hopping through hoops for these public school systems. Stop letting them tell you what's best for your goddamn children. You monitor the shit. You are the boss. Without you and your tax dollars, these motherfucking so-called educators would not have a job. I'm seeing teachers bullying special needs students. And you know that particularly pricks at my heart because I have a special needs child. And it's over my motherfucking dead body that any teacher, any adult, supposed role model educator would fucking bully my son. Period. I don't give a fuck where he is, what type of educational institution that he attends. To bully any of my children, you have a death wish. That's how I feel about it. So I'm not just there monitoring my student, my child, and their behavior and conforming to the rules and the setup. I'm monitoring the motherfucking people that's running this goddamn show. More so than I am my own child. You know, y'all need to wake the fuck up and start really looking at this shit for what it really is. You know, it's a death trap for our babies. And if we don't take care of our own and monitor our own and police our own, ain't nobody gonna come in and fix this broken ass shit for us. So, again, check the links out that I put down there in the description box. You know, really seriously, y'all, come on, goddamn. You know, we got to start valuing our children. The justice system is starting to prey on them more and more, younger and younger, to suck them into juvenile delinquency so they can feed the fucking beast through chattel slavery. Ain't that enough? Our boys and girls, our little brown and black babies have bullseyes on their back once they cross the threshold of adolescence at 12 years old. The man want to scoop them up and lock them up like animals. And if the system don't get them, they gonna fucking kill themselves, some of them, because they being bullied and tortured and tormented. And we not paying attention. We're not listening to our children. So, I implore all the parents, mothers and fathers, aunts and uncles, we're losing too many of our babies to evil. We're losing too many of our babies to goddamn nonsense. And this shit has got to stop. We have got to alleviate this fucking problem and resensitize to the shit that we should be paying attention to. You know what I'm saying? Stop looking at booty shaking videos, going on Facebook to hook up and fuck and cheat on your spouse and come through the back door and try to compete with the next one on these social networks to see who can get more dick or pussy. Cut the fucking gender war. While we doing all this nonsense as adults, who do our children have to fucking look up to? They see the nonsense that the supposedly elders do, and they follow suit, and it's 10 times worse. You know, and that's another thing, you know, that I'm going to address is these backdoor bitches here on these goddamn social networks. These so-called wannabe so refined and elegant and you know, reserved and conservative motherfuckers on YouTube making videos talking all kind of good shit that don't make no motherfucking sense. And undercover and behind the scenes, they flaming hoes, male and female. So that's coming next. But right now I'm focusing on our babies, our youth. My passion as children has been for a very long time. And I have devoted my life to caring for, educating, and nurturing the children of our village. Our brown babies, our black babies, our ethnic babies need us more now than ever before. And we all sitting up here on YouTube fucking with each other, bullying each other like grown-ass toddlers. And we're not paying attention to our children. We're not listening to their heart. We're not metaphysically, spiritually, and emotionally connected with our babies. And they just as dysfunctional as we are, and the elders that supposedly implanted the seed of wisdom in us. It's a generational curse, y'all. Do you see the fucking pattern? Do y'all see it now? Step out of the forest and look at the goddamn trees. See it for what it is. Some of y'all motherfuckers will cut off your nose to spite your face just to be right. Just to avoid personal accountability for your children that you brought here to this earth, that you gave life to. And you'd rather absolve yourself of all guilt and say, I had no idea this was going on, than to introspectively look at this shit and say, how the fuck did I miss this shit? What the fuck was I doing to see where my 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17-year-old baby felt so lost and hopeless and helpless that they had to take their own fucking life over some bullshit? So, y'all check that link and a couple of links down below. I'm gonna hook you up with them stories and get back at me on the real tip. On the real, you know, on this shit, and coming together and start talking and teaching about this bullshit and keep our fucking children off of Facebook until they're mentally and emotionally developed enough to understand what a social network means, what socializing means. You know? And it's mainly the fucking black community that has debased that word and the meaning of it down to fucking. People think sex, fucking, pussy popping, and booty shaking is socialization. There's more than one form of human contact. And it's a predator that'll make you and your child believe that it's okay to be exposed to this shit. It's Facebook. It's the latest craze. Think about it. The latest craze. Some crazy motherfuckers on these venues. Why would you throw a goldfish into a sea of pariah? A 10-year-old on a venue like Facebook? YouTube? Come on, y'all. And they're finding more ways around the age restrictions to get on there. They're having friends. They're changing their birth dates and shit. You know, they got ways, more than one way to skin a cat and slip underneath the radar. And it's time for us to really start investigating this shit and really opening our eyes to what's real. You know, some of these kids stay on goddamn Facebook from the time they hit the door to the time it's time for them to go to bed. Some of them don't even go to bed at night. They glued to the goddamn computer, stuck up, locked up in their room. They wait till you go to sleep, and then they being fucking emotionally raped to the point where they lose their goddamn life. That's some serious shit, y'all. 10 years old, 11, 16, 14-year-olds running off with 42-year-old men gone for weeks at a time. Come on. We got to pay closer attention to our children, our precious cargo. Once they're gone, you cannot replace them. So, holler back. Love y'all. Missed you. And I'm going to get to them backdoor bitches in a minute. So, y'all, hang in there with me. Be patient. And value our babies. It's time to heal the motherfucking nation. Break the cycle. Queen Common Sense out for now. Peace. Hotep. Tough love. Examine your babies. Run it down. Interrogate their asses. And tell them it's because you love them. That's why you do it. Hotep. Namaste.